We are on a journey together. We are looking for peace. We are on a journey together. We are looking for peace. We are walking through the wilderness together, looking for peace. We haven't had peace in a long, long time. Everyone can see the records of us being rolled up on, invaded and lied to, mutilated. Our eyes have been shut. And now we're just too stubborn and stiff-necked to even admit that we don't know nothing. So we must suffer. We must connect the dots. We must surf the wave of the one frequency. He exists. We are at 432thedrop.com, and I just want to take you through a few of our last updates, and we're going to drop in on a couple of them. And this might be, one of my new formats where I just, kind of guide you from here so that you can kind of learn and be familiar with your surroundings. This is for you. It's literally me putting this together in my living room for you. So hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah, man, let's just get a quick scroll, quick tour of the latest drop. This is what we'll be dropping on today. Suit up. 7 fake U.S. cities and towns with very real purposes. This is mind blasting. Film drop. We'll be dropping in on some of this today. Some of this technology, mind control drop. You know what I mean? Check out the whole series, man. Had a good time connecting with, all of your energy. That's how I do it. It's your energy. Drop vids, man. Pretty cold joint right here. Brian Tyler. Drop track. Pretty cold track. Mike Will made it. Rihanna. We're gonna probably put it up a compare 432 probably tomorrow, where you can compare this track in 432 and 440. So do you, homie. Weather drop. BP Earthwatch always got some drop. Again, he thinks he's on the ball, but I do appreciate the babies that he always, the breadcrumbs that's still there. So, it's not a diss, it's just he thinks he's spinning. So, you have to kind of watch it with that type of, lens where he thinks he's on the ball. He doesn't see the full picture, but he does do a lot of research into, the weather, science, CERN, all that kind of stuff. So, there are babies in there. Gamer drop, I do this for my kids, man. They like watching this stuff while they eat cereal in the morning. Random stuff, man. Yeah, so, this is a cool little site that I just, want to see something, I just put it up. I know I got a lot of gamers, man, that enjoy the music, enjoy the frequency. So, hey, cheers. Cheers to you. Funny stuff, man. I'm not even following the series, but when I see something, I'll put it up for my sports people. I don't know who's up, who's down. This is crazy. I've never been so disconnected to sports ever. So you don't see that much sports drop out of me no more. But, and again, I used to waste my time kind of, putting up whole articles. But people don't like to read, man. People just got a quick minute for some drops. So I like the YouTube format for now while YouTube exists. I'll pretty much be dropping it like this from now on. So you can just kind of be on your mobile, check the site out on your mobile, all that kind of stuff. And it should be a lot easier to kind of go from drop to drop and just drop in on whatever you want, man. So that's just some funny stuff, man. Food drop, man. Queens to Chef Aki. She is beautiful. Her energy is amazing. Check out her recipes. Check out her drops. Subscribe to her page. We'll be dropping a lot more from Chef Aki. She, just like my wife, man, Chef Candy, they're both, fully conscious of the electricity that we must receive, and be nourished by. So, it's such a beautiful thing, man. Hopefully, when we start vibrating, this is going to be common. Everybody's going to be electric. Everybody's going to, be in this, resonance, So, I just appreciate the queens that are stepping up, really focusing on, energetic food. Please subscribe to us, Chef Aki, and you will be seeing more from that food drop. Man, that's what's that? I think part 2. Man, go ahead and check it out, man. Check it out. All right, and that's just a little bit of it. Let's see if I can do this right. Here's a little more. If there ain't no bait yet, if you ain't got the bait, if I ain't baited you in yet to hear some more drop, so that by the time we come with our radio show, we'll be coming straight out of our site, no third party. So no matter what drop you want, we'll be able to speak to you, speak on you live from my microphone right through this website. You'll be able to hear me live and direct with no third party other than, of course, the hosting stream and all that. And get at me, man. Super techies that really know how to, make it so that we can really be more and more direct, more focused, in our energy using this internet thing. If you know more than me on how to really make this thing make sense, because we're trying to build our live player, everything directly through our site. We have a direct service, so help me out, man. I got 4 kids. I ain't got time for this, man. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying, man. So yeah, hit me up, man. Hit me up. I'm definitely down to work with anyone in Drop Nation in the community that it's tech related or anything else, man. We're all trying to build it. So let's see, man. Let's get to some more drop, some science drop. This is pretty dope. This is gonna go along with the 432 drop. You get a lot about that vibration live drop, man. This is real cool, man, to see B.O.B. work. We just dropped, the B.O.B. listening party. So kings and queens to everybody that vibrated, man, through the whole B.O.B. Earth mixtape. Go check that out. Historic drop. This king keeps it coming, man. This king keeps it coming, man. He got his own, a few of these kings I've already put up their own categories. So when you go to Let Us Find the Truth, Let Us Find the Truth got its own category. Just click Let Us Find the Truth, and we'll start building from here. I think there's only probably one video in there right now, but from now on, I'm gonna start categorizing, these kings and queens, so that, along with the generic, type of sports drop, health drop, tech drop type of thing, gamer drop, film drop, science drop, all that kind of stuff, you'll be able to, go directly to some of your favorite YouTube authors and artists, and teachers, that you enjoy following. So check it out. See drop, like I said, Let Us Find the Truth, right on cue. See how timing works, man, when there ain't no time, man. Let Us Find the Truth, man. Like I said, click on that category, you will get there. Great drop as usual. Wow, industry drop. I always got some funny money up here, man. So if you into that, man, then it is, man, what it is, man. All right, political drop, get some political drop. Why not? The Young Turks. Gamer drop, like I said, it's for the kid in me. It's for the gamer in me, man. Gamer, bro. It's for the sneakerhead in me, man. Nah, man, clearly I don't give a dang about design or anything, but I'm going to tell you like this. Even if you wear Nike, you got to wear your Adidas. You better wear some comfortable shoes while you make your exodus out of Babylon, man. I don't care what shoes you rocking as long as you walking. I said, I don't care what shoes you rocking as long as you walking. Some people are already headed out there. I'm getting messages like almost every day, like, man, I'm headed out this week. I'm headed out this. And I'm just saying, I'm telling y'all, man, peaceful vibrations. Welcome to the new vibration, the new world, the new resonance. Enjoy the tune-up. Enjoy the frequency. You could just go out there camping like everybody else do. Go camp for a week in Zion National Park and tell me if you want to leave. You might not leave. If you even intend on planning for camping for a week, you might be in paradise, man. See, they got to come and go because it's not their land. You get to stay. And you're going to have to choose illusion, reality. Illusion, reality. And your reality is going to be bliss. Unless you bring static, unless you are static yourself, then you got a different reality. You better choose the illusion because you don't want the real. All right, community drop. Again, man, Chef Aki, I'm trying to tell you, she's coming with so much drop, man, so much nourishment. Hey, this is very interesting, right along with the martial law talk that we've been talking about. Matter of fact, let's just drop in on this because I didn't plan on this, but it kind of goes with our conversation today.
We have some very interesting information being shared here in regards to upcoming events down the road. These are things people should pay attention to, because if this all checks out, and the more we look into it, the more it's checking out, then there is a plan in place to cause chaos at both the Cleveland Convention and the one in Philadelphia. What I'm talking about here is a big hack that just went down, and it was on the BLM leader, the Black Lives Matter leader, D. Ray McKesson. In it is very crucial information, and it is a conversation between him and Netta, the one that you see right here. They say in this that they are going after Trump, calling him a racist. Then they're going to get martial law declared so Obama can stay in office. We will win. Call you soon when I get back to my dad's. But it goes further than this. Up here you can see she asked if you had spoke recently to Lynch, which is the AG. And they talk about the plans for summer and fall leading up to the elections. And he once again says they want to push how racist Trump is now and get the protesters ready so they can shut down both conventions. We have to make sure that our voices and people disrupt Trump all summer long. Now this is big time because we've exposed everything that Soros was backing in Ferguson, and guess who was there? He was. He was also tweeting out tweets with women in a ballroom wearing goat heads. It was Masonic. And when we saw that, we knew something was up. Fast forward to today, after the guy had already been to Baltimore trying to run for mayor and everything else, Mr. McKesson has just been busted and hacked thoroughly. Now, you can see here even Edward Snowden, his official Twitter account, commented on this. And I can't stress to you enough that there is a plan in place, and this exposes it all. Now listen, when you're talking about false flag, honeypot type of deals out here where you draw people in and you cause chaos.
All right, so you can get some more drop on that. I ain't gonna even. I'm gonna give you droplets, you know what I'm saying? It's a new format, man. I'm just gonna give you some droplets. All right, so y'all check out all that drop. It's gonna keep flowing as I get a minute or two to sit down and do some updates and, you know what I mean? Power to the people and all that, you know what I mean? So let's get to, let's take that droplet and let's take it right here, Let's take it right here. Of course, you hear about the New World thing and the New World Order thing. You know what I'm saying? A third term from Obama. And, he's going to be the only one with a third term and all this kind of stuff. And are we going to get to that? Are we going to reach that point? I mean, that's what people are asking right now. Like, when is enough? You know what I'm saying? When do we exit? I say now. Right now. Right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now is when if you're not exiting, then you're dang sure prepared to. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be here when the tanks come rolling in. I got things happening right now in the business world that have never happened. I got connects and things happening that, man, I've been trying to get for years. And this stuff is mighty juicy. It's like, yo, I might get comfortable back here in this kingdom. It might be nice and cozy all of a sudden. It's getting real cozy over here. Right? But what's the target? What's the target? The target is returning home. Assemble yourselves is the target. So does it have to be a designated time to assemble yourselves, or should you assemble yourselves ASAP? If it takes a day, it takes a day. If it takes a week, it takes a week. If it takes a month, all right. But we're all on borrowed time here, right? Remember, time ain't on your side. Because time is just a measurement that they're using underneath the firmament, the vibrational layer that you exist. You got a whole suite next to your Father in the throne because you're his only begotten Son. You're his energetic, direct transfer flow. His ruach, he breathed it into you, which means you are the essence of the order. When you're in order, you got all power. You are head. You exist. As order exists, as energy exists, there's no separation between you and your Father, between you and the energy that sources you. There's no separation with you and Mother Earth, who nourishes you, whose womb is being replenished in a new vibration. We're headed up. We're getting an upgrade. We're surfing a wave. Release the things that are anchoring you, even if you never thought you could. Those are the things that are going to pull you down. And anything connected to this system is going down. Nobody has to say it. You can see it. That's observable, repeatable science right there. So let's get to the drop. Let's take that right into this cold turkey right here. Let go. Support
Hello,
Utah.
everyone. Welcome back to
Utah.
Derek.
GoFundMe.
Okay.
Kings to Lex Will.
When I was doing some research,
Hey,
I came
Lex
across
Will.
7 fake
Let go.
U.S. cities and towns with very real purposes. I'm going to have links to everything that I show you today so that you can look at it yourself and you can make your own mind up about it. But one thing that I noticed is that with these cities that have been made and built, they don't look like anything that resembles what we're going to be dealing with if we were fighting against terrorism. This looks more like our government, our military, is really looking to house, control, or maintain U.S. cities. I've heard a lot of stuff, people talking about martial law. A lot of people have different clips and stuff. You can just type in, you can see how many videos pop up about people talking about martial law. The other thing that I noticed that you can also do is type in military equipment that has been moving across the U.S. As I was looking at this map right here shows the main 7 cities. Right here. And I found this one very interesting since they've had all the problems up there. One in New Mexico. All right here. Let's take a look at what these cities show us. As you see in this image over here, it says State Street, Liberty Street. Whether built for testing, for special training, or military ruse, fake cities have a unique place in the military technology history.
Listen up.
They go on down. I'm not going to read all this, but it goes on down. It's talking about how they built cities to deal with warfare in Paris during World War I, and other stuff where they were dealing with it. But as it's going down, you have M City, a 32-acre site in Ann Arbor with a simulated small town was created to help test driverless cars. Now, all this stuff sounds good, but if it's to test driverless cars, then why does it have helicopter pad right here? Why do they have trailer trucks, cars here? Why does this look like a city that we live in? Because whether or not you're going to test out driving, cars, you're not going to need all this stuff. This is where our money's going, guys. Cities that are fake, cities that they can practice in.
What do you believe? Do you want to go back to sleep, go back to work, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, don't pay attention, don't look up, don't see all that spraying, don't act like it's not, getting you sick, don't act like you're not breathing in all those metals. You say, I'm going to go out for a nice breath of fresh air, but you're breathing in poison. You want to take a drink of water, you're breathing in fluoride and poison. Do you want to pretend that this is all good and that there's not a tranquil, peaceful environment, a habitat that has been preserved for you? Do you want to pretend like you're not kings and queens and royalty? Or do you want to, stay in the man-made cities and act like the illusion is real and ignore the reality that you're royalty? You just got to take back your land. You see, that's not play. Those are cities, man. He's going to go into how, the movie sets and how they build sets, and then the government comes and they take them over and they train domestic, training operations for domestic, for you, man, for you. You know what I'm saying? For you. We ain't got to be cute about it. We ain't got to be flashy. They're training for you. They're training for your children. They're training for your next generation, right? So if you do nothing, what happens to the next generation? It's not inaction as great as action. Cannot your inaction do more or say more than action? Is there not a time for inaction and then a time for action? A time and place for everything. Boxers are so great because they have timing. They know when to, just give a jab. Don't give too much. They know when to, throw a haymaker, a hook, take more of a chance. It's all about timing. They know when to retreat. It's all about defense, right? That Mayweather, that shoulder roll. You have to get your scrap on consciously. For the first time, you're now becoming conscious. You're becoming conscious. Don't put a lid on it like you got it all. I still tell you all the time, I know a lot about a little, and a little about a lot. And together we are Drop Nation. Together we got the drop. So you're going to see these fake cities, but they're training grounds, and you're going to understand it's not play.
See, there's always a reason behind the give to the public of, we're just testing out, robot cars and trying to see how they would work. I don't buy it. It looks like, this deals with Silicon Valley. You have this one here, Site 2, which is in New Mexico. Again, practicing how to deal with what it looks like to me is how to deal with urban unrest. It really looks like, and what really got me is that the plans laid out is a model of an existing town in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That, again, why are we needing these different cities to be looking like other cities in the United States? Why so many? Goes on down, and you see this one here. This one's another one. It's to simulate a small town. I thought it was, you've got first story, second story, third story. If they were just testing for cars or a replica of Chicago's theater, stuff like that, if it was to emulate those areas. And they also, a lot of people don't realize is that so far that these are, built by Hollywood set designers.
Hollywood
have built these places, and that some of these places could have been used for movies. But here's the other thing: the government took these over. Mm-hmm. These are looking like actual places in the United States that sits here and tells me that they're planning for civil unrest. They're planning for martial law. They're planning for either the banking system to fail or something that's going to... We're already seeing all this controversy over the midterm elections. We've seen protesters. We've seen people upset, mad, people fighting one another over
Donald Trump. I'm like, really, why are you fighting over Donald Trump? If you don't want Donald Trump to be the president, you vote not to have him as the president. You don't go out there and stop traffic. You don't go out there and fight. This right here will only give militaries the ideas and the purpose of building these sites, saying, well, we need to do it because see how crazy the Americans are asking.
Third option, if you don't want Donald Trump, remember he gave you two options. You can vote, meaning that you truly believe you can change the system from the system. Or two, he said, don't fight. So I guess the other option was fighting, right? Fighting in the streets. Like, no one sees the other dimension. They're all trapped in space and time. That's what the chaos is. We see a third option that no one else is seeing. Not even your black leaders is telling you this. Not even the black leaders you trusted. They rather talk about everything else under the sun. But they don't want to give you this plan here. What plan is doper than returning to your Anasazi land, your Aslan, your four corners, Utah, Zion, Mount Nebo, Moab, with the full indigenous knowledge that it is absolutely your land, the home of the Aztecs, as they were later found in Tenochtitlan, Mexico. That is your land. Negro, that's where they found you. In palaces, in pristine, clean, ordered cities with order. Don't take my word for it. Just click the links underneath. So, we got to understand. Our third option is what? Exiting the cities. Exiting the man-made environment and choosing reality. Walking into another vibration. Another reality. Your own land, man. Taking your land back. Go camping. Move your camp every 14 days. Until, hey, you got to make your stand, right? So,
acting over just midterm elections.
Choose up.
This is crazy. And then you go over here, the fourth city, and like I said, now this one right here, this does look like somewhere in the Middle East. And I was like, okay, this does. But here's the thing: what a lot of people don't realize, these are actors.
Yep.
And there's a site where you can hire actors to come in, and they're called crisis actors. And they'll come in, and the military will use those to interact, to deal with different scenarios. But a lot of times we're finding out that these crisis actors are being stationed at different parts of the United States whenever there's a horrific act done, like a school shooting or 9/11 or other things, where they've now proven that crisis actors are there, and they get talked to by the news media. They're pointed out, picked out, because our news media is being ran by the government. It's not. They only talk about the things in which the government allows them to talk about. You think you have freedom. No, you have the illusion of freedom.
Drop.
And then you come to this one.
The illusion of seclusion.
And I'm sorry, when I saw this, I said, wow, for a lot of the flat earthers out there, here you go. Here's Mars for you guys. Right here.
Look at that. Looky.
But then again, it could be to simulate things that's in China.
No, man. Don't go away. You said it. This is Mars. Come on, man. The gig is up. Research this. All the terrain you've ever seen from NASA about Mars has come from the Earth. I mean, how would you know the difference if they went into Utah or someplace? Someplace. All that land, remember, the Grand Canyon alone has over 1 million habitation sites. 2 million habitation sites. You don't understand. They haven't even scratched the surface of all what's there. They've only fully excavated 3. Excuse me, out of 2,000, not 2 million. I'm thinking about the 2 million acres of land. So, excuse me, 2,000 habitation sites. These are 2,000 habitation sites that have been verified. So it has to be more than 2,000. And yes, it's over 1 million, close to 2 million acres of land that has not even been touched or looked at. In close range, habitation sites mean what? Cities. So I just said there's over 2,000 cities in what they're calling the Grand Canyon, which stretches what? Between Arizona and Colorado, the 4 corners where you're from. And out of those 2,000 cities, only 3 have been dug up. And what has been dug up? Research all the Egyptian artifacts coming out of it. Because this is Egypt. This is the first Egypt. This is the first Atlantis, before Atlantis was sunk. And then they went to Kemet and set up the 18th dynasty. And Thoth, Tutmosis III was the 6th king of the 18th dynasty. Go back to that 6-part, 10-hour series, Sinking in Egypt. Thoth, slave vibration. And these are your slave cities that they're setting up. This is your fakery. Yeah. Flat earthers, whatever you want to call people that we're either you in reality or you in the illusion. That flat earth, all that stuff is just, sorcery. Either you're in the reality or you're in the illusion. If you're in the reality, then you see that this is where they're getting it from. This is where they're getting Mars from. Because Mars is a luminary, an angel. Mercury, angel. Who's Mercury? Thoth, Tutmosis III, reincarnated again. He said he had over 1,000 life cycles. Research the Emerald tablets and read them for yourself. My favorites are tablets 1 and 8, and you'll see why. Lego.
Certain parts of China where you have the nomads going through, but when I saw this, I was like, wow, this could be a perfect stationary for someone to put the rover on there and let it run through and stuff like that. But that's another rabbit trail. Now, you might be saying, well, you're looking too much into this, Derek. This is something that the government's done all their life. This is something that's being implemented since World War II. Have simulations of places where our soldiers can go into those areas and already have the practice of the military training to deal with certain parts of the country or the world. And I say, yeah, you're right. This isn't supposed to be some conspiracy theory. This is not supposed to be saying, oh, Big Brother's watching you. Really? Come on now. If that wasn't the case, let me show you these things here. Program. 1033 program. The 1033 program was created by the National Defense. They started this in 1997. The U.S. government defense agency despised this is to make military equipment and civil law enforcement agencies. As of 2014, 8,000 local law enforcement agencies have participated in the $5.1 billion military hardware for Department of Defense. This right here is what they're talking about. I'm going to put a link to this so you can read all of it. There's a lot to read, but what this deals with is a deal with military clothing, sandbags, medical supplies, sleeping bags, flashlights, electrical wiring, small arms vehicles such as aircraft, watercraft, armored vehicles have also been obtained. And what this does is literally making our police officers look more like military, where you can't tell the difference between the military branch and the peacekeepers. That's what police means, peacekeepers.
Bang.
And once you start mixing these two together, then people can't tell the difference. Essentially, you've already started the walk down that path of martial law, and that's what this deals with. And a lot of people are like, oh, no. Me and my wife was in one of the states, and we happened to stop and get gas. And when we stopped, all of a sudden, you had these armored vehicles just pull up across the road and had police officers that were coming out in that city, and they were going after two cars. The cars pulled over, but it looked like an assault team was coming onto a terrorist, honestly. And I don't know what happened. We didn't stay around to find out, but you know, they had the people get out of the cars. Military were dressed like, they were dressed like military. They were in the whole garb, the whole military uniform looking. And the only thing that you could tell that was police is on their back, it said, in Velcro, that it was a patch that could be pulled off and put back on, said police. Now, people around the area was like, yeah, that's something that was become a normal around here. And I'm like, got to be kidding me. Seriously? It looks like it was a traffic stop, and it looked like there was an assault assault team engaging on these individuals.
Wow.
But that just shows you how the regular people are just like, oh, you know, that's something that goes on around here. Really? You can't tell the difference between a military or your police anymore because of police state. You don't believe me? I'll have this for you to look at. I'm going to show you something else.
Wow.
Straight from Newsweek, how American police became an army, the 1030 program. Again, I was laughing because this is exactly, except for the smoke, this was exactly what happened. We were at this type of gas station, and this is how they were dressed. And I was like, are you kidding me? For just to pull cars over? And I'll have this thing, riot gear, clear streets with smoke bombs while clashing with demonstrators in Missouri. This was on the 13th of 2014. Again,
what's the difference between a smoke bomb and chemtrails? Who can tell me the difference? Come on, Drop Nation. We all research, right? We know what's in chemtrails. What's in this? And if you tell me what's in it, I want you to be able to verify that what we see on the page is exactly what you're saying it is. That you have some verification from the canisters before they were fired with the actual chemical, you know what I'm saying? I want the whole blueprint as it's being fired, so I know for sure what you're saying is exactly what I'm seeing right here, or what you're going to see face to face in the cities. This is biological chemical warfare, bro. You don't know what the fuck this shit is. They got masks on for a reason. Live bacteria, you don't know what the fuck that shit is. Do not feel conditioned to when you see that, oops, it's just some smoke. How do you know? Wake up. Suit up.
I have these links for you to see. And last but not least is this one. The HR 645. This is what our President Obama put in on January 22nd, 2009.
Research.
This bill that came before him, that he signed into law, gives him the right for militarizing the police officers. Also allows Homeland Security to establish national emergency centers or military installations wherever they feel necessary. And that's why we're showing you those places. When you really go through this bill and look at this bill, you will sit there and say, this is not for national security. This is not for places overseas. This bill is for Americans. This is to give authorization for, during peacetime or wartime, for the President of the United States to sit here and say, I declare martial law, or I'm going to take certain equipment, certain things that I deem needs to be housed and watched over by the government. Prime example, we're seeing all these water supplies getting contaminated. Well, if that happens, there's no free water anymore. Government steps in and says, you know what, we got to protect the water because, for sustainable life, for the government to work, for the military to work. And then guess what? You got like what's happening in other countries right now, where the water in India right now, they've actually had no monsoons. They have no rainy season. The government has come in and arrested farmers or shot at farmers that try to come in and get water from the one water supply that the government has taken over and said they're protecting it for sustainability.
Now, where don't we have to worry about this scenario? What's the third option? Where's the other dimension? In the wilderness, where you belong, where you were before they took you into man-made cities and got you into a slave vibration. First they did it with pyramids, then they did it with technology, other technology, with the same purpose, slave vibration, right? Cell phone towers, 440 hertz, banging out your MP3s all day. Out your TV, out your radio all day. All right? So all the scenario, the water, all this stuff, hey, there's water inside of mountains in the wilderness. It's very hard to get inside of that mountain and then try to poison that particular source of water. These are preserves, people. Are they chemtrailing over these preserves the same way? Are they just dumping fluoride in these preserves water? So if it's been protected all this time, what makes you think it won't continue to be in order for you? So all these scenarios you hear as chaos, you can transform to 432 in your inner self. So you can transfer yourself into a rejoicing vibration while everyone else is in a chaotic state. You're in order. You're rejoicing like your writings say you should be. Your teachers say you should.
And it just shows you right now that's exactly the act that this administration has done. They have militarized the police. They have had more civil unrest in the United States under his administration. And to me, it looks more and more and more like it's being orchestrated so that this bill here gets enacted, or the 1033 program is enacted, that they've been practicing in the 7 fake cities in the United States for American people to have the Gestapo, to have, the stormtroopers from the Nazis starting to walk down the streets, and it becomes
Star
the norm
Wars
to the American people.
Go watch Star Wars again, man.
Guys, you need to wake up. Because these cities right here,
black and white, black and white, black and white.
This could be your city, where you live.
Black power is white supremacy.
They're depicted. All for national security. See, you're willing to give up your freedom for security. And that is a very scary road to walk down.
If you call yourself black, you've given up your freedom. You've given up your land. You've given up your heritage. You don't have to argue over who's who. All the tribes and all this, man. Just start with defending your land. Wake up. You've been invaded. You are the remnant. There were many more here. Many more. We are just a fraction of what was. We are the children. We are the remnant. Wake up. You've been invaded. Negro, you are not from Africa. Your family goes back here before time, man. You don't understand. This is their energetic signature here. This is their heritage here. Why you think everybody wants to be here? Everybody wants to be in America, the American dream. You're a dream to them. Read their writings. You're a fable. You're a myth. They don't know where you came from. They are doing inquiries into your distinctive characteristics because they haven't seen them before in such ways. You're a fable to them. You're a dream, the American dream. Wake up. Activate.
Please pay attention to your surroundings. You never know what lies around the corner.
Hey. Let's get out of here before I go crazy. Let's check out one more. This is a quicker drop. Thought I was getting better at this, but I still got work to do. I'm doing this stuff backwards, upside down. It's confusing me, mama. Alright, some film drop, man. Great King, man, has a lot of drop, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'll try not to, you know, interject too much, you know what I'm saying, when he goes into his Christian stuff, because, you know, that's where he's at. Don't want to disrespect him at all, you know what I'm saying, because I really appreciate the drop that he's been building for a long time, and you can see his body of work. Subscribe to him, get those babies out of that bathwater, man. And, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, I will interject, but, you know, I'll try to limit it, you know what I'm saying, because I want to end this pretty soon, all right? So, love to this King, man, for this drop, and I hope he appreciates the vibration that we're in. You hear that church music playing already, man? But I'm chilling. Come on.
Now we're talking about the movie Divergent.
Okay.
And in this movie, it gives us more of a picture of the reality of how the biometric RFID chip, if you will, work. And it kind of gives us more of an insight in this movie on how you will actually be controlled by the governments of the world through this biometric technology. Now, this guy to the left by the name Ford is going to be talking to the young lady to the right by the name of Trish, explaining to her how their government is getting ready to inject in them and their group called the Dauntless, all of the people in their particular organization. They're going to be injected with this computer serum, and this serum is supposed to make those who are injected with it more able to be controlled and easily persuaded through suggestions and all of that. So let's watch this real quick, and you'll see it for yourself.
Look.
How are you doing?
They're here every morning. I've been watching them for weeks.
What are they doing at Dallas?
Loading in supplies. Computers. And these.
What is it?
I think it's some kind of cognitive transmitter you inject it like a serum.
Why?
It's supposed to make you more susceptible to suggestion, but as many as they have, they could create an army.
Now, if you paid attention to what he said, that their government is bringing in all of this serum and they're going to use it as you go along in this movie to create an army out of their organization. And it's like they're using this serum to control the minds of these people in order to carry out their wicked government deeds.
Listen up.
So this is kind of showing us the reality of kind of what's going on in our particular society, in the governments of the world, and the governments I know here in America, and the different governmental branches that desires to use this biometric technology in order to implant into the hands, into the heads of human beings. Now, this technology will be able to control you or whoever takes this, it will be able to control them. So this movie is just kind of showing us a reality of that. Now I'm going to show you the next part where they actually inject it, and
if you allow them to continue to pump you with serum, I don't care if it's
dauntless army that is now under mind control because they have been injected with this serum, coming into a innocent civilian population of people to mercilessly kill them. What I also want to point
out, my busy, you know, I get a little excited sometimes. Losing my spot. Right.
So you basically see there that the guy who was not be subservient to the government. Now in this movie, Divergents are people who actually they can take the says that this mark or technology, or if you will go in the hand or in the head. Here they actually got it in their neck. But again, this is just something to show us and give us an idea
almost.
What, and go from that point.
What's going on?
All right, so that's where we're at. My busy, you know what I'm saying? But listen, so what this whole thing is like, it could be in a serum, it could be breathable. They're dumping this. It's the same. Look, it really, it's already happening. You know what I'm saying? As this planet is getting, you know, this plane is getting terraformed, you know, by this toxins. They're, you know, slowly trying to, you know, they are terraforming people into, you know, chaos. You know what I'm saying? It's matter, it's antimatter. When you research antimatter, when you research what CERN is doing, trying to pull out that anti-particle, that is another dimension. They're pulling in another vibration. This vibration is so strong that it's going to cause anything that is mostly tuned to it to also go into chaos. You will become a zombie. You will become a robot. And if you take this serum, it will be more easily induced unto you. You know what I'm saying? You will be more susceptible to this zombie apocalypse type of thing that they are actually planning to do. Zombies, man. They're trying to turn people into zombies with antimatter. This CERN thing, man, once this whole thing cracks, this whole research it, man. 17-mile long Hadron Collider, CERN, Switzerland. Built on the temple of Apollyon, Abaddon. You know what I'm saying? Apollo, Shiva. Research this, man. You see, I come from an order above them. You understand? See, in my order, you know what I'm saying, my father has a goon. A real mean goomba. But he does his work smooth. I mean, when you see him, I mean, he's beautiful. You would just think he's light. He's beautiful, man. But he's the goon. He's the guy in the corner of the room, mixing it up. What does he do? He keeps things in order. He puts it down. He creates and monitors the static in order to whoop as much ass as possible for those that are out of order. When you are in order, show me in any scripture, show me anywhere in the Torah when you were in order and you just started getting your ass kicked. Show me when the Israelites were in order. The earth was in order and then bad things just happened, the ebb and flow, you know, just the cause and effect. Nothing ever happened to you when you were in order, and nothing can happen to you when you were in order. That is your power, that is your connection, that is your everlasting, that is your shield. Because that which we consider bad or evil, I'm just, you know, this devil, this whatever, who does he work for? When he's walking to and fro in Job, and he goes to the Creator, and he's like, hey, you know, and the Creator asks him, you know, where you been? He's like, you know, here and there, jamming people up, you know what I'm saying? What's up? You see, don't you get it? He always comes and reports back to our Father. hey. That which exists, that which is established. I am that I am. Say it yourself. I am that I am. Yes, I am that I am. I am because I believe I am. Think about that. I am because I believe I am. Are you with me? Surfing this wave. So the goon is the goon of your father's house. Now, if you are the child, or we are the children, does the goon not protect us the same way he protects this, our father's house? Remember, the goon has to report to our father, so does he not technically have to report to us? Does he not technically have to report to the order? I mean, when you're in order, does he not become your goon? Because you're on the same side. He's whooping ass, causing chaos to get the diamonds, to get disorder into order, to get the order into order, the order that is lost in disorder into order. And once you're in order, yeah, you'll get tested. Yeah, wisdom comes at you crooked first, right? Because wisdom wants to make sure you're rocking with the commandments, that you're in order. Once you're in order, man, then yeah, that's your goon. Yeah, man, you don't have to be scared of no devil. You ain't got to be scared of no lower vibration, because it's all order. Order over chaos. Chaos is just a reflection. This dimension is just a reflection. A reflection of energy. We are being ruled by reflections of energy. You are the real deal. Let's keep going.
All right, listen up. Before you leave tonight, I want you all in 4 lines. Everyone gets a tracking device. Don't ask questions, just a precaution.
See, now, notice he said in there that they were getting a tracking device. And he said to them, don't even ask questions. Just take it. See, that's kind of like what the governments of the world wants all of us to do. Don't ask any questions. Don't think for yourself. Just take it. Just because they say it's good for you. You know? But this movie is showing us the reality of things to come. Now, again, this is referring to the biometric RFID chip and all of the different technology that the governments desire to put in people. Now, we know in the Bible it says that this mark or technology, or if you will, would go in the hand or in the head. Here they actually got it in their neck. But again, this is just something to show us and give us an idea of what they plan on doing and what they are doing currently, because some people are already taking this RFID biometric technology and implanting it in them. But don't do it, because again, this is for control, mind control, you know, and it shows that. So what we're going to do next is go into how it actually controls their minds and how they become like robots. Subservient to the government, and they just basically go out and kill other innocent people,
vaccines,
civilians,
man. Don't get
and
those
they don't
vaccines.
even realize what they're doing.
No
they're
vaccines.
Going out, killing all of these other people
implants
for no apparent reason, just because they're under this mind control. And this is what's going to actually happen in the future. But let's get into this. I'm gonna show it to you. Now, in this part, what we're going to see is the actual Dauntless members being controlled. We're going to actually see that one of the guys who cannot be controlled, which is called a Divergent. The Divergents are people who cannot be put under this suggestion, under this mind control. That would represent a Christian, somebody who did
I did a good, man. You know what I'm saying? You came in with church music and all that, and I was cool. I take this serious, man. I take this serious. So we are, in a vibration here. We understand that there is a direct energy flow between us and our creator. There is no hijack here. So we're in our classroom. We're in our setting. So we're going to clear out any clogs when they come in and get our foundation right. You know what I'm saying? But, there is no other savior but the creator. This other savior outside of the creator came in the form of a hijack. And the most popular form of this, as an example, is this Christopher Columbus situation, this discovery of the so-called New World, which of course is new to them because they were trapped in the old world, which you can go back and check out those drops. So, when he drops that, this mind control, these people that are not able to be mind controlled, must represent, being Christians. And I want to get this right because I don't want to misquote my brother as we move on and smooth on. Let's get that part right back.
All of these other people for no apparent reason, just because they're under this mind control. And this is what's going to actually happen in the future. But let's get into this. I'm going to show it to you. Now, in this part, what we're going to see is the actual Dauntless members being controlled.
Listen up.
We're going to actually see that one of the guys who cannot be controlled, which is called a divergent.
Okay.
Divergents are people who cannot be put under this suggestion, under this mind control.
Okay.
That would represent a Christian, somebody who did not be subservient to the government. Now,
okay, so you heard him out. This ain't no studio trick. So this will represent a Christian, someone who's not subservient to the government, someone who's not subject to suggestion or any mind control. This will represent a Christian. A Christian is your representation of someone that cannot be mind controlled? Mind fucked, if you will? Told that Israel doesn't matter? Told that it's not about the seed of Israel anymore? Although in the book of Revelations, each one of the gates of the New Jerusalem that fell down like a bride preparing for her groom is named after one of the tribes of Israel. 12 gates, 12 tribes, but suddenly you lived your whole life. And even in Revelations where you see 12 gates with 12 tribes names, you're not putting it together that it's all about the seed. See, even Lucifer couldn't leave that out of the revelation. He has to give you the drop because remember, when you're in order, you're on the same side. Because there's only order. And there needs to be a goon enforcing and causing chaos and confusion to cause the static to do what? Create the diamond, the friction to create the diamond. We had to go through the necessary trial to be what? Proven. Who's going to prove us? The goon is going to prove us. Who's going to be the goon? We'll let this guy be the goon. He's going to be the chief of this kingdom. He's going to be the chief of space and time underneath the firmament. And he's going to trick everybody into worshiping the celestial because they think they got high magic, high sciences, and mystery schools. But they all have to run from the hounds of the barrier in circles. Because the hounds move in angles. The angels move in angles. The angels move in angles. Here's the angle. The Christian can't be mind controlled. So who's the Christian? Apparently he is. He's also a brother. He's a brother that most likely believes he came from Africa. Yet he is a brother that most likely came from right here. And if that is most likely the case, I'm just pondering. I'm just pontificating. If that's most likely the case, I think I'm about 90% on this. I got to be 91. If that's the case, if this brother's from right here, like many of us are, that means the Christian belief or ideology came from overseas. So where could that connection be drawn? I mean, it's all over, right? You could look at any history, you see the crosses coming in off the water. Are they Christian crosses representing Christ, or are they representing Babylon? We'll wait. Are those crosses representing Christ, or are they representing Babylon, the crossing, the sun? The sun, Horus. The sun, Ra. The sun, Jesus, Isus, Zeus, the sun, Apollo, the sun, Abaddon, Apollyon, Wormwood. Everybody will have to go through Jesus, Isus, the sun. They will have to go through him to get to the bottomless pit. They will have to go through him to get to his kingdom that he built for you, because he laid down the foundation. He told you out of his own mouth, using this Jesus, and he said, man, I only came here, Matthew 15, I only came here for Israel. He ignored the other lady about her kid. He said, I only came for Israel. I can't give, this meat to dogs, man. This is for the children. So how does a Christian not care about Israel? How does this guy say, Christians can't be mind fucked. Christians can't be mind controlled. And not say Israelites can't be mind controlled. I asked this brother, what is your seed? When did your ideology become or outweigh in importance or in value your actual energetic seed? Is not the scripture covering from beginning to end, following a seed of people? Are not the 12 gates in Revelations named after the 12 tribes or seeds of Jacob, Yahweh, Abraham, Isaac, all the way back to Adam? The seed, the energy, the breath, the ruach, the direct energy flow. In Isaiah, he says, there is no other Savior beside me. Rule number 1 in his commandments, he says, don't put no other God, no power before me. I assume he means beside me too. And now we do everything, but in the Son's name, in the Son's name, in the Son's name, in the cross's name. Cross means death, bro. These Christians showing up with their crosses was our death. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of our death, our slaughter, the death of our heritage, the death of our remembrance, our love for each other. Everything was taken away, and we were told we came from their side of the world. They found us here, bro. This is all love, bro. I got plenty of Christians in my family that, they avoid me. So this is love, because I want you to focus on your seed, not your belief, and understand the root of your belief came on ships, because you're not going to find it here. You're going to find your commandments in stone in Los Lunas, New Mexico, predating 1000 BC. You're going to find them all over the place, man. You're going to find them in Illinois and Ohio. You're going to find them in Arizona. You're going to find them here, man. They just ain't looked here. And we're going to get into some drop in a minute, man. But I love you. And I understand you believe you're a Christian, but I'm saying you are an aboriginal, quote-unquote Indian, quote-unquote indigenous, quote-unquote melanated person of the Western Hemisphere.
This movie, Divergence, are people who actually, they can take the serum and just not be controlled at all. But I don't want you to be confused or deceived by anything. So I would always tell people, do not take the mark. Do not take any biometric technology and put it in you, in your hand, in your head, thinking you can't be controlled, because that stuff will control you. However, in this movie, Divergent would represent somebody who can't be controlled. That would almost be like somebody who did not take it, I would look at it from that perspective. That's just me. That's just a different way of looking at it.
So before he said it represents Christians, you know, and again he follows up and said a person that can't be controlled, so I recommend not taking those serums. And of course we say don't take no serums. So I ask you, who's more susceptible, since, you know, a Christian equals someone who can't be mind controlled? I just put this in an equation for all of us to, you know, pontificate. If that's a word, I don't know. But I love it. Who's more susceptible to taking a serum, a vaccine, getting the mark? A Christian or an indigenous conscious Israelite? Is the Israelite, the conscious Israelite, the person who is conscious of their seed, then lineage tracing back to the direct energy flow, transfer flow, you know what I'm saying? Don't transfer my flow all the way above the vibrational layer. Hey. So for the awake individual who knows that they are the seed of the Creator, are they going to be the first ones in line when someone says, take this serum? Or are they going to fight if someone tries to get near them because they know that they are the direct energy flow, transfer flow of the Creator? Hey. All that is. Because they know their energy connects directly to the flow of the source of all things, they may be more, how should I say this, you know, aggravated. There we go. And definitely more aggressive if someone tries to approach them with a needle or a serum. Now, let's take your Christian, the one that cannot be mind controlled. He can't be mind fucked. He's all in church every Sunday on the Babylonian first day of the week, even though that's not the Sabbath, and they say the Sabbath's done away with. But then they say to keep it on Sunday, but then that's not the seventh day of the week. But they can't be mind fucked. Even when the Pope himself said he changed the Sabbath to Sunday, and we know that that's the first day of the week, and that the Babylonians worship the sun, the actual sun, on the first day of the week. That's their holy day, that's their Sabbath, and therefore he changed it to Sunday, and that's all over YouTube. So that's really easy, accessible information. Yet, that's the Christian in church on Sunday, worshiping the sun. The son of who? Oh, you know, yeah, the son of God. The son of Lucifer. Jesus. Zeus. Come on, man. Come on, man. He is Zeus, right? Zeus, right? Zeus. Research Zeus, S-U-S, in the Greek. And you're going to get swine and pig, and you tell me would the Creator take a chance in naming his son after a pig? Research the Piso family. Go back in those Lex Will videos. He drops it clean on your right shoulder bone. Dig on it. Get with it or get left on. This is the real deal. And I hope you really vibing to it. And brother, just know I appreciate you. But we got to now, you know, leap off of this track here. We got to leap off pretty aggressively. So if the energy's that way, take it in love, because it's only appropriate correction so we can vibrate together above the firmament.
Somebody who couldn't be controlled. That means somebody who did not have the technology inside of them, inside of their body. Okay, so we're going to look at this real quick and see this guy and how this plays out here for the one that couldn't be controlled, and we'll relate it back to the Bible.
They can see and hear us. We just don't process it the same way. The commands come in through the transmitter. What's going on? What do we do? Divergent. Don't worry about it.
So you basically see there that the guy who was unable to be controlled by the government was murdered. He was killed because.
Speaking of control, right quick, just want to just finish this point. You know, when we talk about the Christian, and this is very serious. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know, family in this situation, so I take this obviously to heart because, you know, we're trying to break this mold. You know, there is a brainwash. We got to break through it. We are being conditioned. We have to break through it. What's the conditioning? It came with this so-called slave trade nonsense. We know they took us from here in the thousands, but we did not come from Africa in the millions. They took us from here in the thousands. We did not come from there in the millions. They found us here, the copper-colored races. You research it, 1828 Webster Dictionary. Look it up. The link is below. And also below is the dumb diverses. And in the dumb diverses, research the papal bull, the dumb diverses, 1452. Pope Gregory. And he gives Columbus and Cortez and any other of these colonizers from Spain and Portugal. He says, I grant you, kings of Spain and Portugal, permission to seize and plunder, you know, all of the native lands and native people. You go read it. The link is below. He says to take their fortresses, their duchies, you know, that doesn't sound like no savages. Duchies and fortresses and palaces, take their heritage. He gave them full permission just to take everything. And he says to seize the pagans and Saracens. We know the Saracens are what we would consider the Moors, Islam. The pagans are what we would consider anybody who's not down with their, you know what I'm saying, sun god, right? So, you know, if you're down with their sun god, cool. You know, it's easier to convert, let's say, it was an so-called Aztec or an indigenous person that, you know, worship the sun. And then they can say, look, you're still worshiping the sun by doing this. And they can say, cool, I'm a Christian. I think those were the easier ones to convert to Christianity. The ones that didn't deal with no idols, you couldn't bring no idol on them. Those were the priests. Those were the ones that were executing by the millions. Anybody in order, they were executing straight up. They knew that they couldn't put an illusion on those people, but they can do it if you are already under the illusion with the pyramids already and the celestial stuff already. That ties right into this Jesus horoscope, all this other stuff. But we understand all those abstractions come from minor little drop from the fallen angels that only gave them little parts of the design, and they went crazy over these mystery schools. The dumb diverses says, seek out the pagans. They called us pagans because we weren't down with their sun god. They were pagans to the Israelites. The Israelites were pagans to them. They were both abominations to each other. So this is from the Pope. The dumb diverse is 1452. It's under there. If you like it, click it. It says, seek out the pagans and Saracens. Pretty much all these black people, these indigenous people. Subjugate them. Take their land, their cities, their palaces. It says, all the enemies of Christ. All the enemies of Christ. Take them out. If they're an enemy of Christ, accept this cross. No, you die. Get down and lay down is how it went down. You don't accept this idol, you die. So the ones that were forced, it was a forced conversion. That's documented all over the place if you like it. Google forced conversion, Christians, Native Americans. I'm sure you'll be okay. I'm not just talking to this brother. I'm talking to anybody who's in this frequency, because it's time to take that, you know, elevator up into the direct energy transfer flow in your Torah. Your laws are forever. Only your enemy will tell you that your laws that connect you to your direct source are done away with. What else did they do with the 440 hertz frequency? They disconnected your strands of DNA, and they call the rest of them junk DNA. They're done away with too. So our DNA is done away with, our laws done away with, Oh, look at Pluto. Pluto's not a planet no more. I guess Pluto's done away with too. You research Pluto in the Greek mythology, it might take you back to Shem. He got kicked out of Greek mythology. You just got Zeus and Hades and Poseidon. But sometimes Poseidon's the brother of Zeus. Sometimes he's the son of Zeus. He's interchangeable. We're missing a brother. You see how they hate us so much, they even kicked us out of Greek mythology. Just like they kicked Pluto out the sky. Just like they kicked the Negro off his own land mentally. And hopefully we have time to get to that drop.
Because of the simple fact that
he's doing a great job, though, King. You're doing a great job.
Under that mind
Real talk.
spell, that mind control. And this what represents what would happen in the end times that we're living in even now, and going further into the time of when the Antichrist comes. He will force everybody, him, the false prophet, will force everybody to receive a mark.
Do you see the game, Antichrist? Well, now, you're against Christ? You're against Crustus, Serapis Crustus? You're against the anointed of the Greeks? Well, yeah, the anointed of the Greeks will clearly be against me. I'm with my Mashiach, but our Mashiachs come and they save us. They save the people. They take the people out of captivity. Did Jesus take the people out of captivity, or did he leave them in the Greco-Roman captivity? So that is not a Mashiach according to Israelite standards. We are waiting for a Savior. The Creator says, I'm coming myself to plead with you face to face in the wilderness. Return to Zion.
In their hand and in their head, and if they did not do it, then what he would do is then have them killed. This is what it says in Revelation's 13th chapter. Everybody who did not receive the mark, who didn't worship the image of the beast, the Antichrist, will be persecuted, killed unto death. Okay, so that just gives you a picture of how this movie is telling us the realities of what's coming here. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing, and just far as showing you this, because you need to understand that this is what they're doing with the people who do take the mark, and how they're building an army to come against all of the innocent people. And this is pretty much what we're going to see all over the world, far as when it comes to people receiving this biometric technology and mind control technology within their bodies. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So here we have the dauntless army that is now under mind control because they have been injected with this serum, coming into an innocent civilian population of people to mercilessly kill them. What I also want to point out is that they are receiving a command via computer, so it's like almost like Wi-Fi. Like the command is coming in from this one particular location from a computer, and it's going into all of these soldiers, these particular dauntless army, to get them to come in and do heinous acts of murdering innocent people just because that's what their government wants. So again, this is just something to show you how it's going to be. The innocent people here would represent, again, like the Christians. They would represent people who have not been involved in this serum. Involved in taking part of this computerized technology being placed within them. These are the innocent people. They're now being persecuted by an army of people who is...
Come on, man. I tried. I was going to stay out of it right quick. Come on, man. How do the Christians represent the innocent? What was your first representation of Christians? The Pope just said in 1452 to subjugate the pagans and Saracens and all these native people of the Americas into perpetual servitude. That means forever, bro. That is slavery forever. Are you not still enslaved? But the Christian can't be mind controlled, but you think you are a Christian. You don't think you're the seed of anything? You don't think this has been happening to you because of your seed, not your ideology, not just the color of your skin, but your seed? Land theft, bro. Land theft, king. They took our land, told us we came from Africa, so no one's looking for the land. Now they got the land, they got the gold, they got the inheritance, they got the Most High's people off their own land. I mean, dang. Even Hitler said, these people crazy. I mean, I did this to my own people. You know, Ashkenazi, Nazi, Ashkenazi, Nazi, Ashkenazi, Nazi, Ashkenazi, Nazi, Ashkenazi, Nazi. I did this to my own people. But damn, what y'all doing in America, man, you stealing the jewelry? Research Hitler's letter. He called you, the Negro, jewelry. He said they're taking the jewelry of God. And they're going to be judged for that. Even I wasn't that crazy. I mean, I did some things, but I wouldn't take the Most High's people. I did this to these people, but I wouldn't take the Most High's people. I ain't crazy. But you crazy. Y'all crazy.
Their mind control. And that's just how it's going to happen in our near future. The people that's in the militaries or these antichrist military and all of this other stuff, the governments will be injecting these people, and they will be coming against innocent people, killing them, and just coming against them. As Revelations 13 pointed out, again, anyone who did not have the mark of the beast and served his image and had the number of his name and all of that were put to death. Anybody who did not serve the Antichrist. So that's what these innocent civilians, these two kids, you see them sitting down there like representing the innocent people who have not taken part in this, but those who are staying close to the Lord and seeking his will and his way. Okay, so this is what they're showing us here. So let's look at a little bit of this.
So, to get the babies out of what he just said, these represent the innocent, or these represent the children, or this represents Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? And those that are, you know, that haven't left, that are in these man-made cities, that are innocent, but they just haven't left. You know what I'm saying? You know, hopefully it don't happen to everybody who hasn't left. Hopefully you got the drop on some other type of way. I don't know. Hopefully the Most High sends a special angel to pick you up. Or you can plead with him face to face. He's not going to come plead with you here in this disgusting place. He's going to plead with you in a sacred place, in a place of high energy, of high vibration. That's where the Most High pleads with you. You go to him. He doesn't have to go to you. He's going to call his children home. I'm not here to recruit anybody to go anywhere or follow me or do anything. I'm just here to remind you, you're sovereign. You're sovereign. You're special. No one can touch you. No one can touch your vibration. No one can get close to you, man. When you are activated. When you are directly connected to the Creator. And he's going to call you within yourself, and I'm telling you where you might want to go. And that's what Lex Will's been dropping. Support the GoFundMe, because at least it's a step towards that. And then, hey, if somebody else has another step, we can support that too. It's not just, oh, you gotta, everyone follow this person here. Nah, man, just go. Follow your Ruach. Like-minded or like-vibrating people will be close. Other people that vibrate will be close. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm chilling. I'm surfing this wave with you.
You need to find my parents.
Just keep moving. Where's your house?
Okay, so I just wanted to show you that a little bit there so you can kind of get a reality check on what's actually coming, and so that you can be informed about how these movies show us the reality of what's coming, basically.
Reality.
So I just wanted to share that with you. Again, go back and check out Revelation's 13th chapter and read through it.
Yeah, Revelation. Revelation
great
9.
Detailed description of how everything is going to play out.
If you're going to read 13, read 9. If you're going to read 9, read 7. Read 2, read 3. You know what I'm saying? There's babies in there. I never tell anybody, oh, just throw out the New Testament, because they left babies in there. There's still babies in there, man. Your enemy is crafty. They're going to do it because they're just so enamored by themselves. They want to boast about giving you all the information. They want to tell you, I told you so. They want to, look, they're going to convict you. These energies are going to turn around and convict you when you're being judged by the source of all creation. And these energies are going to turn against you. You know, you try to build with them now, they're going to turn against you. They're going to say, look, I told you so. It says right there, fool. I mean, you're following Jesus, right? Jesus, 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 in the name of the Son, Jesus this, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, change his name, remix it. But this Son, everything's in the name of this Son, Jesus, Jesus, he's telling you himself, I only came here for Israel. And you're a Christian, and you're just like, oh, the Christians are innocent. The Christians are innocent. Ooh, the Christians. And the Christians are the one that slaughtered you and your parents by the hundreds of millions. Columbus was sent back to Spain and went to jail in Spain. But not before the Pope issued the dumb diverses to put you into perpetual servitude. So it wasn't just Columbus, and it wasn't just the Pope, and it wasn't just the KKK. And everybody else burning crosses on your porch calling themselves Christians. You're calling your master and their master have the same name. But what, they just took Christianity from you? Because it started, what, in Africa? You don't come from Africa. Do you see the hijack? So, you know, I think he's almost done, man. But he's doing a great job. I love this kid. Real talk.
Put this up to just show you everything that's going on and everything that will happen in our near future, so you can be aware of it. Again, if you don't know the Lord Jesus,
oh man,
this is a perfect time to get to know him. Ask him to come into your heart. Right. Ask him to come into your life.
All right, I'm done. Try it. Hopefully, the vibration, you know what I'm saying, is you know, transferable. You know what I'm saying, and beloved. I truly do beloved this brother, and I truly do appreciate the drop. And my emotion comes from the fact that I do give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and, you know, we all are here building together. So I'm not over here, you know, being braggadocious about it, but I have to scream it because this trap is for real. Like he said, this is reality. So do you want to be a Christian in this reality? As a Christian, what are you going to do? You don't care about the Old Testament. You're not reading Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? You're not connecting to your seed. You're not understanding about waking up and being Israel again, not calling yourself bywords and all these other things. You're not connecting back to being the 12 tribes, whatever you want to call it. Whatever language, whatever form, I'm just using a symbolic representation of energy. You could get lost in titles, just like Let Us Find the Truth, kicked it so thoroughly, man. In the classroom, check out Let Us Find the Truth. Subscribe immediately. Because it's so true. The titles, you know, you want to call it Jacob, call it Abraham, call it Israel. All these are titles. We're just talking energy, people. Remember, Tesla said it. The man of free energy. I'm down with that. Free energy. Freedom. Freedom. He said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, or I would interpret it as secrets of Heya, all there is, you must break them down into energy, frequency, and vibration. Go back home to being vibration, then there's no separation. That is an illusion of seclusion. There's no separation when you understand energy, and that is truly the drop. You've been hijacked into an artificial grid. with pyramids, the sun, the cross, the Babylonian cross, the Spaniards, the papal bull, the enemies of Christ were executed. The enemies of these idols were executed. We have no graven images. Here's a cross. No graven images. Here's a cross. There is no other Savior beside me. I am your only Savior. There is no other God beside me. Rule number 1 of my commandments. Jesus is Lord. Get to know Jesus. His whole message, and he wants to drop that. Get to know Jesus, man. Not get to know your Creator. Not connect back to your ancestors by energy. Not connect back to your tribes by energy. Not connect back to your fallen ones that have been slaughtered underneath your feet, that you're standing on right now today, because you come from here and they found you here. You are the copper-colored races written about in the 1828 Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Click on the link. They found you here, copper-colored brother, not Africa, which means what? They came here with the Babylonian cross, and they made you worship the sun, and you're still doing it. You've been hijacked, but you just said the Christians are not capable of being mind-fucked. So you want to claim Christianity and cling to Christianity, not to your seed, not to the Creator, your energy, frequency, the vibration above the vibrational layer that divides the lower vibrations from the higher heavens, higher heavens, higher. Get with it or get left on. Love, but since you keep throwing that hijack, I gotta keep King Griffey in this thing, man. I gotta keep, you know what I mean? King Griff Sr. in this thing, man. So love to you, man. Hopefully we got time for one more drop and a battery for it. And this is truly a love thing, man. Real talk. I don't got time for the play. So this is really a love thing. Let's see. Let me try to find it quickly. A lot of good drop, man. A lot of good drop for you to comb through and enjoy. Might be on another page. Yep. Man, some good drop. I still haven't really seen it all myself, so I look forward to seeing it all the way through. When I think it's drop, I just drop it. I don't cling too tight to this thing. I just surf this wave like you do. Like we should all do. This is just one platform. This is just my brain, I guess. This is the stuff that I guess, I'm vibing with in my head, whatever the case is, and the music I like and the frequency that I'm, trying to apply myself to be, the action that it takes to do it. So we're all in it together. And I realize that I'm not separate from you at all. That is an illusion. We're all in it together. So I want to see that, but I don't think I got enough time, man. What is it? As I said, yeah. Let's visit this brother right quick. Let's visit this drop. Get a little droplet, man, and we about to be up out of here, man. Yeah, man, you get the full screen, brother.
Del Ratawa. This is the untold history of
You get
York,
the full screen,
the
brother.
so-called black
Come
that
on.
actually accompanied Lewis and Clark on that expedition along with Sacagawea.
Drop.
Why haven't you heard of him? Look at this photo. Notice to the left side of the photo, you see a dark-skinned man. That's the name, York. He
York.
lived in Virginia, and he lived along the York River. Notice we are either named by location, functionality, or appearance.
Look at
Also, when you look at the text, you find that many Indian nations across America call York a black Indian,
Come on.
as if they were his brother, as I will show you he was, in fact, indigenous. When you look at the old posters of quote-unquote Negroes, you'll find that they have the same appearance, or they're drawn the same as indigenous Americans. So not only are they showing you that they're the same people, you'll find that in 1790, Walter Plecker, the first registrar of the vital statistics in Virginia, reclassified indigenous Americans as colored.
Take your time and read that. I'll stay out of it. Y'all tell me when you're ready. They go.
You are either white or colored. So all of the indigenous people became colored. This is Walter Plecker. This is this devil that created paper genocide against the indigenous people. And you find in 1924 they passed the Racial Integrity Act in Virginia. And this is where the one drop rule comes into play. If you are 1/16 African, then you were classed as colored in Virginia. If you had one African ancestor and 15 indigenous ancestors, you were classified as colored or Negro. That's unfair, that's inhumane, and that's paper genocide. Also, you'll notice that in African Americans, by Jack D. Forbes, Africans and Native Americans, he notes that many of the indigenous people of America were shipped to Europe and Africa. So in reality,
we'll be getting back to that book next. I was just looking at it, man, sitting on my shelf, and I said, oh, so much drop in this one. I got to go back to this Jack Forbes, man. So I'm glad the king brought it up, man. And love to this king, you know, nothing but dribbity drop.
We weren't shipped from Africa. We were shipped from here to Africa.
To Africa.
And he also notes that at least 3,000 Americans between 1493 and 1501 were shipped to Europe at the least. And that's just 3,000. And that's
so interesting he said 1501 because you can also research in the Biblioteca de Colombina in Sevilla, Spain. The Biblioteca de Colombina de Sevilla. And that document is right underneath there, so you don't have to go too far to research. It's right underneath. You click it where it says Columbus said, I'm coming to America to recapture Jerusalem and Mount Zion. He says it flat out. It is in his writings, in the Book of Privileges, in the Book of Prophecies, in the Biblioteca de Colombina in Sevilla in Spain. He's coming to recapture Jerusalem. What's the year? 1501. He just said 1501. They were taking us to Europe. 1501. We were here fighting to protect the holy city. And they recaptured the holy city in 1501. Now, what Negro people were fighting for the holy city and Mount Zion in 1501 in America? I'll wait. Was it you? Maybe. Maybe not. If you're not waking up to this, maybe that wasn't your fan band. If it's just coming to life like boom, then you are of a heritage or a seed that is remembering itself. You are knowing yourself. You are vibrating above and above and above with your Father. You're vibrating in the throne, baby. You in swag frequency.
All amount of time. So where did all the tens of millions of Americans go? Let's see, back in the day, in the 1800s and 1700s, 1600s, the indigenous people were called Americans. And they are Europeans, because that's where they came from. We can only be Americans. Look up the 1828 definition of American.
Well, they can't be Europeans, because just like in France, you know, the court just, you know, they just had a whole court case about how the indigenous people wanted to take the name back French because the so-called Caucasian people, you know, are calling themselves French, and the native people were already calling themselves French, so they wanted their title back, and they won. So the white people there can't even call themselves French because that is an indigenous title, just like American is. American is a stolen title. It was an indigenous title or some translation of it. Tamri, the whole Egypt, all that stuff. Jerusalem, Perusalem, South America, that's our mainland. That's where it's at, Peru, right? So that's what we're understanding. They flipped everything. West is east, east is west, old world. This is the old world, that's the new world. They say you got to flip everything. They say it's a ball of water spinning. You got to just assume it's the opposite. Just because everything they say is lies. Is it not? Or do you have to protect massa to prove your point? Protect NASA to prove your point. I said protect massa to prove your point. I said protect NASA to prove your point that you're on a globe of millions of tons of water being crushed by some force called gravity that is a theory, not even a law of science. So without this theory, you have no ball. Without a theory of gravity crushing water, you have no ball. You only need gravity if you're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, going at 67,000 miles per hour. You don't need gravity if you're still, because anything that is floating down in this atmosphere is more dense than that of the atmosphere. So it's going down. It is denser. We have density. That is physics. We have density. You want science? I'll give you science. Repeatable, observable science of density. So this is the wake up. And no, they are not Europeans. That's the point that I'm trying to bring out until I got on my flat drop. They can't call themselves French. They can't call themselves America. So where do they come from? That's when you got to go to Lex Will for the drop. It is not an attack against white people. It's an attack against a seed of white people that have been invading. invading because they have no heritage. And this is the power. These are the powers. Do you understand? It's not about to start looking around playing the color guessing game, because we don't know anything about what anybody's energy is. Somebody can look Caucasian and have the energy of hair. You can't determine that. So stop trying. You need to build your kingdom and focus on that. Return to your land. Be Aboriginal. Be indigenous. Stop checking off African American on everything you fill out. Check off American Indian, other, whatever, because they cannot tax an Indian. They cannot tax an Aboriginal. They are a corporation. They have set up a fictitious title on you in all caps. And you have to beg the question again, how can a corporation tax a corporation? If America's a corporation, how can they tax you, the corporation? You are indigenous. You cannot be taxed. You are sovereign. Let go. This is real spill.
Indigenous. It is the copper-colored people found here by the European, which is us. And
right.
You can see we're actually waking up, as B.O.B. is.
Man, like I said, King's the B.O.B.
Speaking publicly about our indigenous heritage. And on on Twitter, he says black people were already on this continent as well. Slavery isn't the only black history. He also says black people are native to the Americas. What they don't tell you in history.
Bang.
This is El Ratawa Smith Bay. Follow me on Facebook at Talk Times of America.
Love to that, King. Subscribe. Love to everybody, man. Stay up, suit up, choose up.